All right, welcome back to the Phaithful Phanatics show. Fun show, busy show, Friday afternoon show, guys. Happy Friday. Getting ready for the weekend here. We got Eagles, Pats, joint practices all week long up in Foxborough. They get ready for their week 2 matchup in preseason on Saturday night. We're going to dive into what we've read, what we've seen. Jalen and AJ hugging it out, Scotty. That's what everyone's saying. Hugging it out. We can move on finally. We're going to break down everything that took place up in Foxborough, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Phillies remain red hot in August after a terrible month in July. I believe they 14-5 or 13-5 in the month of August. They've won 6 straight back-to-back sweeps since playing the Twins in a cornfield. Sweeping the Twins and the Marlins now. Aaron Nola, Andrew Painter have look in form. They've also signed Nestor Cortez to a major league deal. We'll see if he can give any relief at the back end of the starting rotation as the season winds on here. The offense since acquiring Luis Ariz has changed drastically. They've scored 4+ runs in every game throughout this 6-game win streak. So the Phillies are back within 5, I believe, since the Braves won yesterday. 4.5 or 5 games in the NL East divisional race with Atlanta. We got that to talk about. A video that hit social media a few days ago. If you're a Sixers fan, very, very exciting. Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James in a gym together, getting in work, and it just didn't seem real. So we'll be talking some Sixers to end the show. But still, my man, happy Friday. And guys, don't forget to follow and subscribe. As you can see, we are over still, as you can see, pulled up on the screen on the DSM-Media Philadelphia YouTube channel. I'm not asking you not to subscribe. I'm not telling you not to subscribe there. But if you could see on our screen, on the bottom left of the screen, the PP Network, the Phaithful Phanatics Network, we are moving all content over to that new YouTube page. I'll drop a comment while Scotty's talking over there so you guys can see that. Click on it and hopefully hit that subscribe button for us as we grow into that new channel. My man, what is going on?
Happy Friday, my brother. Happy to be here with you. Just getting the show shared out. I was definitely listening just in case anybody out there thinks I'm looking off to yonder.
Yeah. Tune me right out.
Getting us right, getting us set up for success here, my man. As he mentioned, man, tap into the Phaithful Phanatics Network. That's going to be the fun side of things going forward. But yeah, we'll give out more information as time goes on that. We'll get you guys all set up for success there. But I'm feeling good on this fine Friday, man. We're 1 week closer to the start of the NFL season, which is just the greatest time of my life every single year. And of course the Fightins have turned it on of late. You mentioned the the Field of Dreams game. Maybe that
turned everything around.
Hollywood, maybe it inspired them. What out there is it Iowa or Idaho? Don't mind me.
Iowa.
My Midwest mid-central states. I don't have those down, but one of the I's nonetheless.
Iowa.
Maybe it sparked them, but nonetheless, it's a good thing. It looks good right now, and we're enjoying it. And of course, man, you mentioned it with the Sixers video. That video. I mean, that's like gold, dog. Like you find that, maybe 2 days ago?
Yeah, it still doesn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real. All the tweets, like I keep seeing people kind of quote tweet the James Harden new deal, and he got lumped in with 4 other guys. I think it's like KD, Steph, and LeBron that are all in the $500 million earnings club in the NBA history. And I think Shams, the way he tweeted it was like Philadelphia's LeBron James or Philadelphia 76ers LeBron James. And even seeing that still doesn't feel
so crazy
like real life. So we'll continue to progress towards, training camp and preseason when it comes to the Sixers in September and early October. We'll have a lot of fun with that. But like you said, the reason everyone's getting amped up right now is because football season's coming back. And I don't know. I know you're working from home today. I don't know if you had the pleasure of stepping outside. Maybe you took Rocket for a walk earlier this morning. I'm also in South Jersey. We got like 35, 40 minutes between the two of us. I don't know what the weather was like at like 8 a.m. by you, but I walked outside and it felt like a fall September morning.
Oh, that's a good,
Early
yeah.
October morning.
Okay.
There was a little chill in the air. It was a little breezy. It was nice. It got hot quick. It got hot in about an hour and a half.
As soon as the sun comes out,
But
I feel you.
It got that, and that just means football is right around the corner. Football was taking place up in New England in Foxborough, man, this pit for 2 straight days in joint practices.
Yeah.
You had no love between AJ and Jalen on day 1. They were asked about it. Day 2, dap up, hug, little chat. It's taken a lot of people's times and conversations there, but a scrum on the field, apparently a pretty major brawl. I haven't seen any videos of it. Have you? I don't know how well knit they kept that practice, but by all accounts, like Mailata made a comment that he's got to be better in those situations, trying to break up fights and everything. So there were some scrums going on between the two teams.
I heard it was Lane Johnson.
Really?
I think Saquon. I didn't see the exact quote. I heard him talking about it on the radio this morning on my drive into the office. And apparently Saquon was talking about how he doesn't like joint practice for that reason.
He said he thought he behaved though. Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently they gave an inkling that it was apparently Lane Johnson that got into a little bit of an altercation. Now that I'm starting to remember it, they said something about it was like a younger, unproven Patriot player.
Yeah, it's normally what
happens. Kind of talking sideways out of his mouth. What happens. A Hall of Fame right tackle like Lane Johnson.
Yeah, well, Lane's saying, hey, man, this is my last joint practice probably ever. Let me get into it.
And, he probably hates the Patriots. Yeah. Like, he is one of us. Like, he's been here long enough that he probably hates the Patriots just
Boston,
as much as we
Super
do.
Bowl history.
Yeah. I'm thinking. And now you add the AJ layer to that, right? Which, once again, Lane was here with us when we beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
So let me ask you this. All joking aside, all Jalen AJ conversation aside, all fighting conversation aside, what took place, just reports, small clips, small videos that we were able to see. What can you really take away from joint practices? I will argue that joint practices give you a little more than preseason games. I think there's a little bit there to that. The competitive side, you get the ones on the ones in these moments. So I do think you get a little bit more out of it from that perspective, but at the same time, it still is practice. I'm seeing tweets about 7-on-7 interceptions. What really can you take away from something like this? Obviously, it's a great team in New England, representing the AFC in the Super Bowl last year.
Right.
You are getting AJ's best shot. I mean, after the first incompletion we saw on day 1 of Q getting a hand there, AJ drops it. After that, by all accounts, he destroyed our secondary. You see clips of Dontavion Wicks destroying Smitty, breaking Christian Gonzalez once. Like, what can you realistically take from these joint practices?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And when you start to see these joint practices more and more in the preseason, you've seen it the last couple of years around the league. They just keep getting more and more popular. It just gives you an opportunity to get behind closed doors to an extent. I know there are some fans, there's media out there getting clips and stuff, but it's not like a game. It's not like a preseason game where you go out there.
On television,
and I do think,
cameras.
To your point about like the interceptions and stuff, it does. Like, if I was a quarterback and I know I'm not about to play on national television, I'll probably take a few more risks than I actually would take in a real game setting. So I think it does give you that kind of like freedom or the ability to take more risks and try things, and maybe something works that you wouldn't have tried in the game, and now you're willing to try it, right? So I think stuff like that is good. I think the fact that it is the Patriots, the team that is coming from the AFC Super Bowl appearance last year, won the AFC conference, it's good competition. I think the fact that you do have a couple guys that crossed over from the Eagles to the Pats, the Milton Williams, the A.J. Browns, right? I think that makes it a little bit, just more competitive environment, wanting to prove to each side and stuff. But that's about it. I'm not coming out of like these joint practices with like any overarching takeaways for the, regular season. Nothing different than what I would have taken from like training camp, basically. Like,
Sure.
Mekhi Lemon not at practice, Mekhi Lemon joining practice yesterday, right? Like, those are the other takeaways that I'll work with, but those are just updates. Those aren't really like Mekhi Lemon going at it at practice with the maybe to that point, that is something that I would look for, right? But we don't have that benefit with Mekhi Lemon, the rookie wide receiver, to get to see him take those reps. So that would be something I'm intrigued with.
Yeah.
Eli Stowers, man. I'm hearing some like really rough stuff about this guy, man. That's a takeaway I would say as well when you start thinking about the Goddard replacement down the road.
It's interesting because to your point and kind of what I said in the beginning as well, it's also like you spend the first week and a half, 2+ weeks, just battling one another, the same guy, the same reps over and over. And on top, they're your teammates, right? Like right now you're in competition with them in training camp, but at the end of the day, they are your teammates. And you do get internal fights. It happened with Moro Ojomo and Fred Johnson. Like shit like that is going to happen because of, just blood boiling and you're in the August heat and July heat and you're, going. But joint practices give you a chance, especially the ones who don't really play or show much in a preseason game. Yeah. It gives you a chance to take it out on someone else, to be competitive with a real opponent. So it gives you that. I do like what you said. Like, there's just too many ups and downs that you're not going to get in the normal flow of a real game. Like, because for instance, like Eagles Twitter blew up within the first 6 seconds of practice because Q was stride for stride with AJ and he dropped the pass. Yeah. And it's, oh my God, da-da-da. Yeah. And then boom, AJ has success and now it's the Eagles secondary getting torn up. And then you see tweets of, Jalen threw a beautiful deep ball to Elijah Moore for a 40-yard touchdown, but then he throws a pick six. Yeah. But then Drake May throws a pick six to Tariq Woolen, and there's just too much. The graph, the chart is just going crazy, and that's not something that would happen in the normal flow of a real football game.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. That's a great point because you can even take it down to situational football, right? Yeah. Like red zone opportunities. How many of these can you score on in the red zone from 10 yards out?
And you're just running it over and over and over.
Exactly.
Again, so
exactly. And I was just going to point out the video with Drake May throwing it was called a touchdown, or maybe it was ruled out. I can't remember.
I don't know.
He threw a touchdown to someone. But he would have gotten drilled by Jahad Campbell.
Oh, yes.
If it was live football. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to take all of it with a grain of salt, of course. One positive that I will throw back to you that I did hear this morning. Apparently, Saquon was having some huge holes to work with out there.
Yeah.
Once again, can they hit him? How does that work? All of that entail?
Yeah.
He had huge holes that he was working with the offensive line and some of what they were doing. So I was very happy to hear that.
No, I agree. I think that was more so. I mean, it might have happened day 2 as well, but that's the one thing that I think stood out to a lot of the beat writers that I follow was the holes. And they also did throw out Will Shipley's name and a little bit of Tank Bigsby, which I do find interesting that it went Saquon, Shipley, and then they said even Tank Bigsby.
Interesting. And
I was like, even Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby's not ahead of Will whatever. That's a different conversation. Get towards the regular season to talk about. But the running game, yes, I saw a lot of success reportedly from that. Yeah. And then you get that's my point though. You get the ugly, you get the bad, you get the turnovers from Jalen. That's what people are gonna harp on and focus on. Yeah. But then I saw so many positive things from the receiving core, which, hey guys, newsflash, if the receiving core is having a positive day, that means the guy throwing them the football was having a positive day on those plays as well. So I saw a tweet that it was the best 2 days Hollywood Brown put together in training camp so far.
Love that.
You had the Elijah Moore deep ball contested catch that he went up and got, him making a play. Apparently Darius Cooper was making plays all 2 days. You saw the Dontavian Wicks quick slant routes that just demolished off the line of scrimmage.
He looks like a monster, man.
Yeah,
he looks dangerous.
I'm trying not to get too excited, and man, I feel like my previous Packers distaste put my foot in my mouth when it comes to him, because I would always, me on turf, I always make fun of just what the Packers have. I'm like, what's supposed to scare me? Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks, and now I have Dontavian Wicks, and I want to be excited, but I feel wrong for now. Now I'm going to tell you how good he is.
We're in the same boat.
what I'll say is this.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just going to say, by all accounts, it seems like the raw talent has been there and is there. He was lower on a depth chart in Green Bay than he's going to be here, and he's had a little bit of a hands issue in the past. And if that gets shored up, which it seems like it is in camp so far, that was the one thing that held back playing time from him. And now he's expected to be a big, especially with the Lemon injury, a big time playmaker in this offense. It could be a lot of fun. Like, you could get a Dontavion Wicks breakout.
I do agree. And all I was going to say, just to kind of add on to that, just remember what Jahan Dotson looked like at times. And Jahan Dotson, he was fine. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to sit here and hate on him. He didn't get a lot of opportunities. Maybe that was because of him. Maybe it wasn't, right? We don't know. We'll I guess we can see whoever wide receiver 3 is this year. But nonetheless, look at them playing eye view, right? Dontavion Wicks is just so much quicker. Like, he looks like he has more of a specialty than what I felt Jahan Dotson was. When Jahan Dotson came in, I thought that he was going to be like this slot receiver that kind of specializes in the middle of the field. He just wasn't. He's kind of like, I don't know. He didn't look fast to me at all, man. No, once again, not hating on Jahan Dotson, just pointing out how good Dontavion Wicks looks. And to your point about the receivers kind of performing well, at least the last couple days, right? Just imagine how different it will be. I'm not saying it's going to be, infinitely better. I'm not saying it's going to be better, right? Because AJ Brown is gone, and that's a big-ass wide receiver 1 that we're going to be missing. It's going to show at times this season. I know it will. But all of these guys are playing for their lives, except for Smitty and Mekhi Lemon, right? And Mekhi Lemon, I mean, you're a rookie. You kind of are. You're playing for your role. Right. Like, these guys are playing for their lives right now. They cannot afford to give up on a route, or they might be out of the league, right? Like Elijah Moore, for example, how excited he was to catch that touchdown pass. Brother, it's joint practice, but I love to see it because he needs to go out there and perform like his life, his career depends on it, because it does. Same thing with Hollywood Brown, Darius Cooper, so on and so forth, man.
I do, and I have a growing feeling Darius Cooper makes the team, man.
I do too.
If he doesn't, I'd be really shocked at this point. Like, because if Darius Cooper can't make this team, and this isn't the Eagles receiving core of the past, like you mentioned, with AJ and Smitty at the top, and even a guy like Dotson in third, if he can't find a way to make the roster behind Wicks, a rookie, Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore, and he's having this good a camp, what does that tell most practice squad guys in the future?
Right.
You ain't making the team, bro. Yeah. So by all accounts, this kid has the ability to play at the big league level.
Yeah.
Now, am I going to tell you Darius Cooper should be a wide receiver 2 for anybody? No. But Darius Cooper can get action on an NFL field. He did last year at times.
When QB1 name drops you multiple times in an offseason for the work that you're putting in, I agree. I think it should take notice, and I think it should carry some weight. It should carry some heavy weight that QB1 drops his name multiple times in an offseason, talking about the work ethic that he's putting in. So,
and I'm not going to lie to you, bro. Like, I know you keep certain guys for special teams. Focus that on the defense, where you keep extra linebackers and corners and safeties and stuff like that. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I love the idea of him as a red zone threat coming back from injury. I know that injury sucked. Like, Johnny Wilson doesn't need to make the roster specifically so he can play on kick return and kickoff coverage.
Right. He can be
over Darius Cooper potentially being a guy that can make plays for you. I don't need that. Britton Covey doesn't need to make this fucking football team.
I agree. I think this year, when you don't start the game with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith at wide receiver, you got to keep some options open, right?
You need all the help you can get.
Because maybe Hollywood Brown isn't giving you what you need that day, and you need to try something different. Or maybe Elijah Moore is, so on and so forth. Like you said, man, it's an interesting concept. Now, that's the thing, there's not even a room in the tight end room for Johnny Wilson either, even if you did want to go down that route.
Right.
I'm not sure that there's room for him there, but he could be a practice squad guy, right? Like, he's not going to –
wouldn't he clear waivers or whatever the NFL.
That's what I'm thinking.
One Johnny Wilson clear more so than Darius Cooper, getting like the attention he's
coming
getting
off
right
the
now.
injury too.
Yeah,
I think so. I think that's a good call.
That's
man.
definitely a way to look.
Right.
But that's kind of where the eyes go. The passing game is going to be where everyone's looking at this year. By the one guy we have not talked about because I didn't pay too much attention to last Saturday's preseason game and we didn't cover it at all.
Yeah.
Cam Jurgens, you better protect your job, brother.
I know, man.
Because the Big Will's coming, brother. Big Willies.
Once again, man, when you have guys like Jordan Davis who are now leaders on this team, name dropping you on the offensive line, you got to take notice, man. And Cam Jurgens, to your point, has not played well for the last year plus. So season plus. Let me say season plus. But no, I think that's a great point. But no, I love Mailata too, man. I just want to throw that out there. Everything he's been saying to the media, he kind of keeps me level-headed. He was talking about the offensive line as well, liking what they're doing, but need to clean up some stuff, which it's good that they're recognizing that now, because that's the last thing I want to fucking see is some false starts, dog. Like, no. The other thing, man, with Saquon, just to maybe round out his point.
Sure.
I did hear he's in some pre-snap motion as well, going across the line of scrimmage, moving around. So, Sean Mannion.
Let me ask you,
more and more.
Scale 1 to 10, how excited are you to see Sean Mannion's full scheme come out week 1? Oh, good. Get the cough out, brother. Someone pat him on the back.
Yeah, where's my wife at? No. I would say 1 to 10, man. It's interesting, right? Because I don't think it's fair to say 10 because it would be 10 if AJ was still here.
Yeah.
Seeing Sean Mannion with these weapons, right? But I'll say 8, 9. Because it's different and it's coming out of the locker room. Everybody says it's different. Everybody says they love what they're seeing. And I think a little bit of uncomfortability for guys like Saquon, for the offensive line to start training camp this year is a good thing. I think having to learn something new. Maybe it's never a good thing when you lose a Jeff Stoutland level coach. I'm never going to say that. I'm never going to disrespect Jeff Stoutland like that. But sometimes a fresh voice is needed. Right. Yeah. And maybe the new offensive line coach can get to another place in this with this offensive line that Stoutland was no longer able to. But
by the way, I think I messed up because again, I didn't watch the game. It was Markel Bell, not
Willie wasn't Willie Lampkin.
I think it was Markel Bell. I'll go back and check. I just keep seeing clips of the play. Just bulldozing someone 5 yards past the line of scrimmage till the end of the whistle, like playing to the end of the whistle. Yeah. I think it was Markel Bell.
It was. Now that you say that, I remember seeing that video. I do. Which that's a great thing because Jordan Davis did say that about Willie Lampkin Jr., I think it is.
Yeah.
So that means we got 2 backup offensive linemen that are impressing right now.
Yeah,
so
and that's not including a guy like Fred Johnson who's been here and can step in and play tackle as well. So, yeah, man, a position you don't want to get hurt at. Again, we know nothing from regular season action from any of these 2 young guys.
Right.
But if you do have depth at that, I mean, the Eagles won a Super Bowl in 2017 by having depth on the offensive line. I mean, literally Jason Peters was out for the year and a man by, hold on, I used to be able to pronounce his first name. I can't anymore. Halapudi. Is that the first name? It was Vaitai, yeah. But Halapudi, something Vaitai.
I'm not giving that a shot.
Yeah. He played left tackle in the Super Bowl. So having stability, having depth at that position is so important. I've heard Vic Fangio talk about Ty Robinson and how he kind of, he didn't use the word matured, but like he's kind of grown up. Like he's being a little bit more of what they expected him to be out of, what was he, Nebraska?
There was something Vic Fangio specifically said. I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly what it was. He kind of threw a shot at him, though.
Yeah.
It was like he finally showed up
Yes.
showed us something. It was something like that. He's a smart ass, but I love it. Yeah, I love it. You got to call motherfuckers out. Real quick, before we do go to that defensive side of things, just really curious. We don't have to spend more than a minute on this, but the backup QB situation, Andy Dalton and Tanner McKee, man.
I mean, I'm wondering where a certain commenter has been, but
there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of people, a few people I've seen that say Andy Dalton should be the QB2.
I mean, he's big by all accounts. I mean, I know there's been days here and there where, like, I see the tweets, Tanner McKee second up today. But most days, Dalton started the preseason game. Like, right now, it is Andy Dalton QB2. Tanner McKee did not play well. And then you had Cole Payton coming in his first preseason game and play well. And now there's, like, from what people took away preseason game 1 is that Tanner McKee hurt his trade stock a little bit.
Yeah.
And I only bring that up. And there's not a lot of people watching right now, and we're switching networks, so this doesn't really mean too much. But we have a commenter who, I don't know, hopefully he's okay. Is this him?
Yeah, hopefully he's okay.
What we got?
No? D-Rab checking in.
What's going on? We have a commenter that not, like, just likes Tanner McKee, like, legitimately fights with me that he's the next guy. He's taking Jalen Hurts' job, and not only is he not taking Jalen Hurts' job, he's losing his own. And I'm not, like, trying to mock our backup quarterback or our third string quarterback. I'm just saying, like, this is where stupid Jalen Hurts hate takes people.
Exactly. That is exactly why I brought it up. So
to the land of the dumb, home of the stupid.
We'll be seeing you. No, for my money, man, I like the idea of having a veteran backup quarterback. Yeah, quite frankly, I like having a guy that's more experienced. So, it is. It's cool with me, man. But
absolutely, defensively, between the 2 days of practice, man, there's been good and bad in the secondary. When you're talking about AJ Brown, Drake May, Romeo Dobbs, and again, it is one-on-one type of situations. It is going to be difficult for these guys. And AJ Brown had a day. But at the same time, when we talked about the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, like, I saw a thing that Tariq Woolen got put in the whirl cycle one day, but then he had a pick 6 the next day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Q breaks up the first pass against AJ, lockdown Q. AJ beats him the next time. AJ's dominating. Like, it just goes up and down. So the secondary, that's one thing. Let's put it in a box over here.
Yeah.
I did see things that the defensive front was dominating.
Okay.
And that's fun.
Yeah, of course.
That's a lot of fun. I saw Jalix Hunt. Jalix Hunt was dominating.
I did hear a lot about Jalix Hunt, man. He's blowing up right now. There's something going on there. Is he becoming like a star? Like, am I tripping? I'm not trying to take it too far. Like, I'm not gonna take it too far, but his name just keeps popping up.
Yeah. And it's been a little while, man. Like, he produced during that Super Bowl run 2 years.
Exactly,
like he was getting to Patrick Mahomes along with everybody else on that front. Last year was last year, and now it's another year for him. I agree. So I'm not trying to, like, take the focus away from that. I'm throwing it to you right now. But the other thing, the other guy that keeps shining,
I think I know where you're going.
Trot Jr., bro.
Yeah, 54.
Is he a starting linebacker?
I was gonna ask you the same exact question. Like,
let me ask you.
Is his role locked in?
If you're Vic, because remember, like, Vic likes to use guys in a little different ways and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're, like, correct me if I'm wrong. When we took Jahad Campbell in the first round out of Alabama over a year ago now,
edge.
It was an edge rusher.
That's what we thought.
And he had to replace Nakobe Dean through injury as that guy next to Zach Bond. And not that he did a very good job with it. Right. But if you have a guy like Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who can play more of that traditional linebacker role next to Zach Bond, and you have Grenard coming back from injury, and you have Jalix Hunt, and you have Nolan Smith, and you have all those guys, you can put Jahad Campbell more so back to being an edge. Not that he won't drop back at all, but you can put him back in his natural habitat and allow Trot to shine next to Bond.
Yeah, just to get your best players on the field, man, making it work.
Yes.
I think, Jahad Campbell, his athleticism, to your point, he can be like I hate to use the term Weapon X because it's so relevant in Philadelphia, but he can be used as that Swiss Army knife that you can just move across the line, right? Like maybe he does come up and play a blitzing linebacker just for that, just to do it.
I agree.
Maybe he goes out and he does go with the running back sometimes when it looks like he's coming off the edge. Like you said, with Vic Fangio, he knows how to use guys in different manners. I think you can move Jahad Campbell all over the defense.
Yep.
And then that gives you room to give Trotter some well-deserved PT this year at linebacker. So, yeah, his name has been popping up as well, Trot Jr., man. It's interesting because he's that more prototypical linebacker, like you said, just that more, like maybe classical, is that what you would call it? Like just that classic. He's not like a hybrid. He's not a hybrid.
It just feels like traditional middle linebacker type play, which maybe just isn't how defenses operate much anymore. Because you have pressure, you have coverage, but like when you would think of when there would be like 3 linebackers on the field.
Yeah.
And like I'm thinking of his dad, right? I'm thinking of, again, don't take the names for what I'm saying, who I'm comparing. But you think of Luke Kuechly, you think of Patrick Will, like those, the middle field guys that kind of just slide, pivot in zones, and then hit the shit out of you. That's what I think of. I see the jersey number, the build, the size, the frame. That's what he feels like.
Zach Bond is a little bit more flexible in the sense where he can cover guys. Like he is athletic enough to cover guys down the field to an extent. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea, man. I'm interested to see how Vic goes about it because you do have Jonathan Grenard returning from injury, and who knows how long that does.
And there's no need to rush that, man. And don't get me wrong, I want to see Grenard on the field as soon as possible. But by all accounts, like, okay, maybe he misses week 1 because he's not ready, he's not acclimated enough. This does not seem like a long-term thing.
Right.
So if he misses week 1, maybe he misses week 2. If Jonathan Grenard's coming off the edge in week 3, we're okay. All right. So let's just start there. I think that's it for Eagles Pats joint practice.
We don't have to do too much there. There's not that much to take away. We got a preseason game tomorrow.
Give me another week and a half, and we'll start getting into the hypotheticals, the outlook for this, like how we're feeling for the season, what this team can really do record-wise, playoff-wise. Right now, I'm still a little far away, right? We got 2 more preseason games. I mean, Chris, we have what? Is it 4 weeks until kickoff or 3? I guess 3.
So it's not.
Because we have 10 days left in August, and then
the 12th and the 13th. Is that?
It's the third. It's the 13th. Is that Sunday? I believe.
Yeah. So the 13th is when. Yeah.
So you have about 3 you have 3 weeks and a few days till the season kicks off.
Yeah, we got time.
So I'm not like it's close, but I'm not like let's get to it, as Martian would say. Line that shit up. And we're not there yet. But with that said, where we are, you are watching live. Hope you've been tuning into the Fightins. And I know. You don't want to get on the roller coaster with me. That's fine. You don't want to get too excited. You don't want to get too down. You don't want to buy in. You don't want to get heartbroken. They've only beat the Twins. They've only beat the Marlins. Who cares? Hey, I hear you. I'm not going to argue with you. What I'm trying to point out over this 6-game win streak that has them, hold on, I'm sorry, I don't want to mess this up. It's a season high. A season high 12 games over 500. They're 70 and 58. Is that, yes, they had an awful July. They also had a really bad July last year. They also had a really bad July the year before. Now, I don't know what it is with July and the trade deadline approaching and this team just losing its fucking mind each of the last 3 summers.
Maybe just laying off and maybe thinking that the trade deadline's going to save you somehow.
Right. And that's a terrible mindset to have. I get it. But what I'm trying to say to you people is that since Rob Thompson, who was fired, and Don Mattingly took over, and yes, I know, Don Mattingly makes you want to rip your hair out. Me too. The bullpen usage, I don't quite understand it. Yada, yada, yada. Since he did take over, the Phillies have the second highest winning percentage behind them, only the Milwaukee Brewers in baseball.
Okay.
In what? May? Since May? So and that's with an awful July. They are now 13 or 14-5 in the month of August. They have been a very good baseball team since May. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, oh, don't let this stretch. What stretch are you talking about? The 3-month stretch where they had a bad month stretch? Like, we talk about this every year. Does it change your outlook for the postseason? That's your prerogative. That's how you feel about this team. Maybe you're just negative. Maybe you don't want to get too excited and get hurt like a classic Philly fan always feels. I understand all that. But to sit here and like kind of trash this team is what makes me laugh. Are they going to win a World Series? I don't know. I'm not saying yes. But when you continue to hear people at a national level that have covered this game for 50 plus years tell you today that the Phillies remain the Dodgers' toughest task at winning a World Series, take that for something. Yeah. Take that to mean a little something, because this team is playing excellent baseball all the way around right now. Bryson Stott, not only his bat, but that glove in transition to over at third base has been seamless. Luis Arias, I didn't know what Don Mattingly was doing, putting him in the cleanup spot behind Bryce Harper. Since changing this lineup around and acquiring Luis Arias, this team's OPS, its OBP, its strikeout to walk ratio, everything, its runs produced, everything has changed with Luis in the middle of this lineup protecting Bryce Harper. Alec Boehm has his ups and downs still, but has been hitting the cover off the baseball for a week straight now. I can't stand the guy, but hitting the cover off the ball. This team is playing really good ball. And when you get to the dance, because that is going to be the question, whether they come back 5 games and beat the Braves for the NL East, or they have to stay in one of the 2 wild card spots or 3 wild card spots, when you have the pitching staff they have, you have a chance to win a World Series, guys, whether you want to believe that or not. And for the big concerns we had about making the postseason, again, knock on wood, still August, they have to continue to do it. But Aaron Nola's been on fire. And not for 2 games or 2.5 games. Aaron Nola's been on fire for like his last 6 starts. Andrew Painter, since being sent down and called back up, has been pretty damn solid. I mean, even last Sunday, now I might be wrong here, but that game against the Twins, when they came from behind, he gave up a grand slam in the first inning, and I think that was it for a while. I could be twisted with Painter's last start, but look, grand slam first inning, not going to help the ERA, not a good look. Put your team in an immediate deep hole. Right. What I'm saying, he made a bad pitch with 2 outs.
Still able to mentally bounce back.
Yeah. I think I could be remembering the day wrong. But my point is, you have those 2 guys behind the Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo trio with Duran in the back end. Scotty, they're going to have a chance to compete for a World Series again.
Yeah. And to your point about the playoffs, I mean, I was looking on ESPN just now. It looks like they have close to a 91% chance of making the playoffs with the latest win streak. Obviously, that can change just in a week with how many games they play per week, right? But it just speaks to the momentum that they're starting to pick up, man. And I like what you said towards the end there, the starting pitching, right? And that's where it starts. And funny enough, no pun intended, right? The starting pitching, and maybe in the past it did start with the bats, but I think this season it starts with that top 3 of your starting pitching: Wheels, Sanchez, and Luzardo, who's going to be pitching tonight. As long as you have those guys in a playoff series starting, you're going to have an opportunity to beat anybody. I was in between saying anyone and anybody. Yeah. Anybody. You're going to have the opportunity to beat anybody when you have those 3 guys started. Then you add in the bats, right? Kyle Schwarber hitting the monotone of home runs, so on and so forth. Trey, Bryce, we know the batting prowess that these guys bring. These are the big bats. They haven't shown it at all times, but they have shown it enough in the past. when you have these guys locked in, you're going to have a great opportunity. But to your point about Nola and Painter, man, if you can just get one of those guys to keep this up going into the postseason, you're going to have a really, really good chance.
Yeah.
And, if it is one that, maybe you only keep for start, maybe you turn Nola into a, kind of that leadoff pitcher whenever you go with the bullpen game. Maybe that's the route that they end up going. But the way Nola's pitching right now, it gives you a lot more confidence towards doing that. Arias, man, that's different from any postseason edition that we've had. I know, I get it. He's another lefty, whatever. It's different from what we've had. He's a contact specialist, right? Who, since he got here, is apparently able to hit home runs too. So it's
smaller ballpark.
It's very interesting. And it just shows you, man. And what I really wanted to say, which I kind of got lost in translation because there was so much coming to my mind. But you know what I really think of the way Phillies fans, and I say Phillies fans, I'm generalizing. It's not all of us. It's just very like weak or like spoiled, or I don't know if I'm using the right word there, but it's like soft. Do you know what I mean? Like it's soft to like accept defeat. And like, like it's soft to say like the Dodgers are just going to win. Like, do you think people are saying that about the Sixers? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nobody, we're loving the Sixers and the addition of LeBron and creating this super team. And yeah, we feel like our team's ready to be the best team in the NBA and take it over. But are people sitting over there in New York as Knicks fans saying, "Oh my God, we're never going to beat that version of the Sixers"? Like, oh my God. Like, and I do get it. It is different. The Dodgers have won back-to-back World Series. It is different. But to just accept defeat before you've even hit the field is kind of wild to me. And it's very not Philadelphia-like. I get we boo, and we turn upside down when things are going wrong, but we don't give up before it even started.
No, and it's to me, and I talk about this with you on the show all the time, and it's where I think me and Phillies fans, my fellow Phillies fans, had the biggest disconnect when it comes to the rest of our sports world here in Philadelphia, because I can't seem to get through to anyone when it comes to not overreacting one way or the other, good or bad, not just negative. I'm not just calling out the negative Nancy's here.
Right. And I'd be lying if I said I don't roll my eyes sometimes with the Phillies. Like, they don't
1,000%.
Like, I roll my eyes when they're playing like shit. Sure.
That is what you're supposed to do. You comment on the highs, you comment on the lows. You get on them when they're playing like shit, you celebrate the success. The one thing you can't do with a 70-58 baseball team that's in a playoff spot, that's made the playoffs each of the last 5 years, is get so up and down on a nightly to weekly basis.
Yeah.
And I understand it with some fans, man. Like, we know how most of the fan base can be. But I listen to the radio sometimes like you. And like, aren't you guys supposed to be the ones that not calm it down, but bring a little bit? You have emotion. I'm good. Like, radio's great with emotion.
Like, you don't have to be rah-rah, but like lift us up a little bit, right?
And like, but also just not like, dude, they'll blow a game. They could blow a game 2 days from now after winning 7 straight. Yeah. And the initial thought process will be, you see, this is why they won't win a World Series. Fire Dombrowski. Trade this. I'm not saying not to fire Dave Dombrowski. I'm not saying they're going to win a World Series. What I'm saying is, come on.
Yeah.
And that's where I can't seem to connect with Phillies fans, is that's never going to change. It's not fucking football. Not basketball. It's 162. That's my point, man. Do you know how, like, here's what I want to say. If they continue this hot-ass August, and they head into September 3 games behind the Braves, and then in September, I don't know when they play the Braves again, but in September, they beat the Braves 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. And they're a game or game and a half out of the and whatever. And then they have a hot September. Do you know how fucking stupid and silly you sounded in July when you declared that this team is awful and they stink and they should sell at the deadline because they have no chance. That's why you can't be so drastic with everything. Brother. Comment on the bad. Crush them for the bad. But you don't have to take it to a level of they'll never achieve this. They're not good enough to do this.
Yeah.
Because you bring up the Dodgers, and it's Goliath. And as a level-headed man, I would tell you that's where the money should be put. It's on the Dodgers to go for 3 in a row. They added Scooble, for Christ's sake. It's the Dodgers. Can I ask you a question?
Forgot about that.
Can I ask you a question? Were they not down in the 8th inning in Toronto of Game 7 of the World Series last year? Now, they won. They won back-to-back. They're better now, probably. But to act like they're the Shaq and Kobe Lakers who just swept their way to a finals and then beat the Blue Jays in 5, and you know what I mean? Like, that's not what transpired last year. They're human. They can make mistakes. They can bleed. They can lose. The Phillies had them on there. I know what happened in that series. The Phillies should have won Game 1 and should have won Game 4.
You know,
forget about that.
It's crazy. And I know it's not football, but it just took me back to like 2017, man. Like Nick Foles versus Tom fucking Brady. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Once again, it's a playoff series. So do the Eagles beat the Patriots in a playoff? I don't know. I can't ever answer that question. But it is just interesting when you think of the level of – it's almost like a work ethic type thing. Like, you got to work as a fan. You know what I mean? Like, I got to put my fan cap on and work if I want the rewards of the Phillies winning and taking it to the next level. But what I saw while you were talking there, you mentioned the Braves, man. We get them right at the beginning of September. They're the second series in September, and they are we get a 4-game series against the Braves in Philly over Labor Day weekend.
Right. So my point is,
that'll be fun.
If you were so frustrated in July, and it was valid as hell to be frustrated in July.
Yeah.
But you took it so far to say, sell at the deadline. They stink. Like, they're not just, not that they're playing really badly. They stink overall. Harper's not a leader, this and that. And then they go on a run. And let's say after Labor Day weekend, they're tied with the Braves for the division. Do you know how fucking silly you sound? And don't come back at me and be like, well, who could have predicted this? Anybody. It's what I talk about every summer. You cannot go so far positive or negative in August and July. You just can't, because here's my point. Scotty, they could finish the month of July 20-5. That doesn't mean we should be banging the table
that they're going to win the
World Series.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's the other side.
Correct. So I'm not just being an asshole to the people that were down and out. I'm telling you it goes both ways, but too many people do it all the time. If they lose this series to the Cardinals coming up, which they shouldn't, at home, riding high, should not lose to the Cardinals twice in 2 weeks. But if they did, they'll be right back to the gutter.
They should
and
win.
That's what drives me nuts.
Yeah, but they should win their next 3 series.
Who we got?
I would like that. It's the Angels, Cardinals, and Mariners, but in reverse order. My bad. I said that backwards. Cardinals, Mariners, Angels. And then you finish out the month with 1 game against the Diamondbacks.
Right. I mean, and in this series, you got Luzardo tonight. You got Sanchez Sunday afternoon with Painter mixed in. And I'm not just trying to throw the Painter game in the trash, but that's the one right on paper that you look at and say, ooh. But my point is you have 2 of the 3 in this series. And then in the Seattle series, you have Wheeler, Nola, Luzardo. Again, Nola's been spectacular. You have Wheeler, Luzardo in 2 of the 3. Then the Angels series, you have Painter, Sanchez, Wheeler. You have Sanchez, Wheeler. That's the crux of it all. Is this rotation, the way it can be set up. And I agree. The Mariners is a weird one. Because they are like I think they're under 500.
They are,
but like
yeah.
they are like in a wild card race. I think they're like less than 4 games out of the wild card in the AL. I don't know
That's so weird.
I don't know if they've been bad like over the last series or not, and they're even further away. But they were like pretty close to a wild card recently. They went to the ALCS last year.
4-6 in their last 10.
Right. So that they're supposed to be a good team that's not playing good this year. You're in Seattle, West Coast, late games.
That is a
tricky. 2 of them.
Yeah.
That could be weird. But St. Louis at home, after you just lost the series to them that you shouldn't have a week and a half ago, and then the Angels, yeah.
It's time to open it up.
Yeah. Then the fun part is, like you said, that Brave series 4 over Labor Day weekend. And then you have Houston for 3 at home, then you get Atlanta again. But you have a West Coast trip for for 9 before coming home and starting that Atlanta series on Labor Day weekend. So like if you can if you can handle your West Coast trip, you could be in a position for this ballpark to be crazy on a holiday weekend.
So did they start that West Coast trip with the Mariners?
Yes, they're home. Okay. They're home tonight for the weekend against the Cards, and then Monday, Seattle.
Okay.
Yep. Tickets as low as $14 in Seattle. It says. Nice. Nice. You know what tickets are going to be $14?
We gotta look. Yeah, we gotta look into maybe one of them Braves games, man.
That would be sick.
Might be expensive on Labor Day weekend, but
but if we look now, if we look now before they get within like 2 games of the Braves, maybe they're 9 games behind the Braves. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Myself, but if you look now, it could work in our favor. So maybe we'll have to check that out. But speaking of tickets not being low, and we're gonna wrap this up in a second, just real quick.
Yeah,
that video.
What video, Dylan?
You sure it's not AI generated?
Shit. Hey, I told you before the show, that man, Jalen Brown, that dude's chiseled, dog. Like, that shit looked fake to me, man. Look like somebody, like you said, somebody like AI'd this man's body onto the video or something.
Yeah. No, all joking aside, what a time to be a 76ers fan.
Oh, my God, dude. I saw this. I saw the video of LeBron catching the oop, and his arm is like this much, like above the rim. Basically, like his arm is like up that far above the rim. He's 40. He's like 41, 42, bro.
That's my thing, Scotty. Like,
so insane.
I know we're a while away, and it's not how Joel plays at all, and LeBron's old, but like. Do you know how fun this team is going to be in transition?
Yeah, because LeBron can still get out on a fast break,
or even just put a go at, right, or even grab a board and get it ahead.
Have you thought about that game that he played in Philly last season, where he put the crown on himself?
Oh yeah,
I haven't thought about that since we signed him. But now that I think about it, like maybe there was like a precursor there or something. Because he showed the fuck out in Philly, bro. He fucking shit on us. Like he took it back. He took it back for a game in the regular season, random weeknight in Philadelphia, and decided to give it to the Sixers, man. Like it was wild.
That's something we can talk about. You said random weeknight. It might have been, I can't remember if it was on national television or not.
I can't remember either. I feel like it wasn't.
Because all the assholes bitching about the Sixers schedule.
Oh, my God, yeah.
To wrap up the show. Guys, I want to do some simple, common first grade math for you.
Come on.
All right? Do you know what people are upset about, Scotty? How the Sixers, like, had the least amount of like back-to-backs and 3 games in 4 nights and stuff like that, right? Everyone's up in arms. Oh, you get the LeBron treatment. Oh, Joel and LeBron, of course they get that. Da-da-da-da. Hey, assholes. When a team has how many national television games? 34? 33?
Yeah,
32?
That sounds
somewhere
right.
around
34.
There? Right. Okay.
34 sounds right.
Who does the league want playing when they're marketing their nationally televised games?
Yeah.
The Stars, right?
It's a great point.
Right? It's all about the money. Okay. So if the Sixers, because of the talent that they've acquired and put together, if the Sixers play in 34 nationally televised games, I think what the league's going to do, hold on, hear me out, is not put stress on their back-to-back schedules or 3 games and 4 night schedules to where, when LeBron goes to LA or Embiid and Jalen Brown go to Boston, or when they go to the Garden to play the Knicks, or whatever the fucking case may be on an ESPN or TNT game, they can play.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be, maybe they're still going to miss some of them, but it's not going to be load manage, because the Sixers are playing in the Garden on the second half of a back-to-back because the league scheduled it that way. You dummies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great point. I didn't even think of it like that, but yeah. Because I wasn't complaining. I was just accepting my LeBron
everyone's they don't play a lot of 3 games and 4 nights. Look at da-da-da-da. Why would the league do that to its cash cow?
Yeah, exactly.
LeBron James, Jalen Brown, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. Hey, guys, when they play the Thunder and the Spurs and the Knicks and Jokic and the Nuggets and so on and so forth, don't you think Adam Silver and the league wants everyone on the floor for those games? You fucking
They kind of need to play. Yeah, they kind of need to.
God, it's not that
difficult.
That's
the good thing with this squad now. You can sit LeBron on a given night, but you'll still have Joel Embiid, Maxey, and Jalen Brown. So, I was just accepting my LeBron favoritism. It was about time that we received some, because before we were playing the most back-to-backs with a motherfucker like Joel Embiid leading our team. It felt like that was
so I don't want to fucking hear it.
I'm good on hearing that. But yeah, the video in itself and the videos that are coming around of just guys, I'm back in like my Ben Simmons era, like the workout videos, bro. Like I'm getting like excited off that shit. You remember when you used to see Ben Simmons, taking jump shot after jump shot at practice?
Today.
He's still
at it.
Still is. I saw Anthony Simons doing workouts the other day. I'm getting excited about that. Saw LeBaron Philon and VJ playing at the Rico Hines camp right now. So all these guys are hooping. They're all getting the work in. VJ's been even hooping for his home country, Bahamas. Yeah. I think they got like some tournament going on down there in the Caribbean, but he's been balling out. I think he played like 3 games for the Bahamas. He's shooting like 55% from the 3-point line. Scary season, man. For anybody not on the Sixers. Straight up, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, let's get out of here. We got to go discuss our top 10 quarterbacks over on Turf Talk. Yes, guys, if you are watching live, if you're going to watch in replay form and you're seeing this part, yes, we are live on the DSM Twitter still right now. We are live on the DSM Philly YouTube channel. Not telling you not to subscribe to that channel. Definitely follow the Twitter channel, because we're just going to switch it over to the PPN But as you can see, thank you, Scotty, pulling it up on the screen right there. Go click that comment, subscribe to the Phaithful Phanatics Network over on YouTube starting September 1st. That's where all content is going to be. There is going to be no more content. Maybe in the beginning, we'll put it out on here still just to continue to get the word out to people that missed it. But after a little while, no more Turf Talk page, no more DSM Philly page. Everything will be going directly into the Phaithful Phanatics Network, into different playlists, so you can get all the content in one specific spot. So subscribe, share, like, whatever you got to do. We appreciate it. To start football season, to start Sixer season, I'm sure Phillies playoff season, we'll be doing giveaways to kick off the new channel. So jerseys, maybe cheap tickets, T-shirts, whatever we can get into. The
cool thing now with YouTube is we can see who is actually subscribed to us. We can view their actual names. So that's a nice feature on YouTube. That we can
right. So we don't need you to send anything to us to show us that you're subscribed. We'll be able to keep track an easier way. So subscribe, share. Thank you. And we'll be talking to you guys.
Happy Friday, y'all. Go Fightins.